Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's another hashtag Friday Sews Day. Today I'm going to focus all on the Sewing Expo. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned. Okay, so I'm not going to bother with what I've been working on, what I have coming up, and a little bit about life. I'm just going to talk about my experience so far at the Sewing Expo, and I hope you're interested in that. So I came to the Sewing Expo with my very fun sewing friends, Jen from Today and Jen's Sewing Room, Carmen from Carmen Salome, and Trish from Pinky's Farm. I'm going to link all of their channels below. I've talked about all of them many times before, so I'm sure that you're fully aware of who all of them are. And we've been having the best time. So Carmen and I are rooming together, and Trish and Jen are rooming together, and we're all taking a lot of classes. So this Sewing Expo, it seems to primarily be focused on quilting, at least in the exhibit halls where the vendors are selling things. But there were quite a few classes to choose from that were garment related or helped you with garment sewing. So I have 6 classes that I have or will be taking. I think Carmen took 8 classes. And Jen and Trish took a few classes as well. And some of us, we were in some classes together, and other classes we were by ourselves. We just kind of each did our own wish list, and some of them crossed over and some of them didn't. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my classes, and then I'm going to talk about a few things that I've picked up, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right. So when we got here Wednesday and we all kind of gathered together in the room that Carmen and I are staying in, Jen brought us gifts. I mean, I wish I was as thoughtful as her. I wish I would have done that. But I want to show you what she gave us. All right, so the first thing she gave us is this pencil and brush organizer. Look how cool that is. We're gonna use it to put our pens in, our marking pens. And I have a whole packet of those friction pens in different colors that you can use to mark on fabric, and it goes away with heat. So I thought that was super neat. And then the other thing that she gave us is the winning thing. Her daughter throws pottery. And so she had her daughter did this for us. She made these pottery pin dishes, and they have the magnet on the bottom. Look how stunning. Look how stunning. I mean, so lovely. It's so professionally done. She signed it on the back. It is just gorgeous. And I already have a magnet pin holder, pin dish that Jen did for us last year for our staycation. And I need multiple pin cushions. So I have her pretty one on my cutting table, and then I have one of those just Dritz magnetic pin holders on my sewing table. And so I can get rid of that one now, and I have 2 pretty magnetic pin dishes. I'm a lucky girl. And then Thursday, Carmen and I both had classes, and Trish and Jen, they did some fun thrifting stuff. So on Thursday, I had 3 classes. My first one was called Pants Fitting for Your Shape. And it was a lecture class. It wasn't a hands-on, but the teacher was Lorraine Henry, and she is an excellent teacher. If you ever have an opportunity to take a class from her, I highly recommend that you do it. So this class, she was focused on fitting pants and really taking all the measurements that you need and kind of dispelling a few myths or maybe bad techniques that have been passed around. And in the class, she talked about, where you need to measure. And then we spent some time talking about crotch shape. And that was really interesting to me. And she recommended that we get a flex curve. And I bought one from her booth. And what this is, it's a silicone measuring tape that has wire in it. So you put it between your legs, and then you pull one side up to your front waist and one side up to your back waist, and you kind of mold it to all your curves, your nooks and crannies, whatever you want to call it. And then you transfer that shape onto a piece of paper, and then hers was laminated, which I thought was brilliant, because then she's got her template, and unless you are like fluctuating in weight, then you've got your template for your crotch shape. I will tell you, I bought this from her booth. It was like, I don't know, $33, $35. I didn't think to look on Amazon. If you ever go to an expo, I highly encourage you to look on Amazon or somewhere else on the internet before paying the expo prices. This was like, I want to say like $8.99 on Amazon. So I will find it on Amazon and link it below. It's not the exact same brand, but I'm betting it does the same thing. So yes, and also, if you watch Sara from Naughty Gnome, she's been on a pants fitting journey for quite some time. And I recall her talking about crotch shape and some things that she learned about it last year. And she used tinfoil. So you don't even have to buy a gadget. So you don't even have to buy the $8.99 one from Amazon, because you're just going to do that measurement once, or that shaping once, and you're going to transfer it to paper. So I like to have gadgets. So I'm happy. Plus, I kind of fluctuate in weight. So I'm happy to have the gadget. I wish I hadn't paid $33 for it, but I have it. But if you don't fluctuate, and even if you do, I mean, tinfoil's cheap, so go the tinfoil route. Then she also recommended this book, Fitting and Pattern Alteration. And this is the 3rd edition, and there are techniques in this book that aren't in the earlier editions, so she definitely recommended this edition. She's not one of the authors, but she does sell the book in her booth. And I did look this one up on Amazon, and this is a very pricey book, regardless of where you buy it from. So she charged $114, but honestly, I've taken 2 classes from this woman so far. She referenced this book both times, and I'm learning some really amazing things. And the book on Amazon was $115, so it's not like she was gouging on the book. And it's illustrated very well. It's got, I'm just really happy with this book, and I'm eager to put it to use. So that was the first class. The second class that I took was Serger 911, and the teacher was Kathy Rudy, and that class was okay. I did learn some new things. It was also another lecture type class, so I was taking notes. There was nothing hands-on. And I'll share more about like some of the things that I learned in a future video. It was just okay. I'll just leave it at that. The third class that I took was called It Seems to Fit, and seems was in quotations because the idea behind that class was that you are using seam allowances to make alterations to your pattern in place of the slash and spread method or the pivot and slide method. This is just another method. And it was also taught by Lorraine Henry, and the techniques are in this book. So I felt validated that I had bought this book after going to that class, because it was an hour and a half. It was more in depth. It was semi hands-on. We had a template that we were making alterations on, and it was really cool. So I feel like I'm really going to be upping my game after taking these classes. So that was Thursday. Today's Friday, so I only had one class today, and it was a 3-hour class. It was totally hands-on, and it is called Intermediate Serger Technique Notebook. And the idea behind that class is she taught us 8 different techniques to do on our serger. It was so cool. It was worth the price of coming here. Everything else, if I had done nothing else and only come to that class, it would have been worth my time and worth my money. And that one was taught by Alicia Welcher. I think that's her name. And so I'll be sharing some of those techniques, in the coming months, because I'll be using them a lot. Because now they didn't do a hard sell on this. This is totally me, but the serger that we were using was divine. It was nice and quiet. It had an air threader, which I've been dreaming of for a long time. It had just a 2-switch flip for a rolled hem. So I am going to be buying that tomorrow on my way out of town. They have a really good deal for the expo. I did try looking this serger up online. The original price is what I found it for online, and the sale price is $700 off. So I'm getting a good deal based on everything that I've heard, based on everything that I've researched. So I feel good about that. And so I'll be taking home a new serger this weekend, and I'll be sharing some activities on that serger in the coming weeks, because I think it's going to help me up my knit game, which you guys know, if you've been following me, is not my preferred fabric to sew with. So we'll see how that goes. So that was today. And then tomorrow my classes are, I have 2 classes tomorrow. One is called Clone My Clothes, and I think it's basically just what it sounds like. That one I believe is also a lecture class. I don't think it's going to be hands-on. It's just an hour. And I think she's just going to basically give us some tips on how to take clothes out of our closet and make patterns from them. And then the second class that I'm taking is called Take a Walk on the Wild Side. And that one is using different presser feet, which I'm super excited about that one, because I have one of those Madame Sews presser foot kits that has like 30 presser feet in it, and I think I've only ever used like 1 or 2 presser feet because I don't know what to do with all of them. So I'm really excited about that class because I think it's going to help me utilize that kit a little bit more. All right, so that's the classes. Then we also have been meeting some really lovely people that follow all of us on YouTube. We met Marty on Thursday, and Marty and I had been communicating. I knew she was going to be here. We had kind of talked about like meeting up and everything, and she's just lovely. I could see if we lived closer, we'd be like best buddies. And she lives in St. Petersburg, and she has an Instagram account, and I'll link that in the description box below. And yeah, I was super excited to meet her, and I'll be seeing her. She was in one of my classes already, and I'll be seeing her again tomorrow. We have another class together, so I'm excited about that. Then I also met Deb from Deb's Way. She has a YouTube channel here, and she's mostly a quilter, but we ran into each other. She did a little bit of video of the two of us. I didn't think to take a picture. I'm so bad about that, but she's going to show the video on her channel, so I'll link her channel below. And she does quilting, and she does a lot of lifestyle, like follow a day in her life kind of videos. So go and check her out. She's really sweet, and it was nice to meet her as well. And then when Carmen and I were eating lunch after our last class on Thursday, we were sitting in the lunch area at a table, and a lady sat down, and she recognized us, and so we started chatting with her. Her name is Joanne. Hi, Joanne. It was nice to meet you and your friend Charlotte as well. So it's just been really lovely meeting people that we interact with on YouTube and on Instagram. That was Thursday, and then today we met a couple more people. So Cheryl, who I believe she follows all of us on YouTube, her and Jen had arranged to meet up in one of the like little meeting areas in the convention center. So we got to chat with Cheryl for a little bit. She's from Ontario, but has a temporary place here in Florida. So she's been here for a couple of months. So it was really nice to meet her as well. And then we were back in the exhibit hall doing a little bit of shopping, and we ran into Annette. Hi, Annette. It was so much fun to meet you. Annette is super exuberant, and she was a lot of fun to meet. So it's just been a lot of fun meeting all you fun ladies. I appreciate it. If any of you are at the expo and you haven't met us yet, and you see any of us walking in the hallways, we love meeting you guys. Come up and say hi. So that's who we've met. And then let's see, where was I? Okay, so I talked about the crotch measure thing, the book, and then we were in the second exhibit hall today. Carmen watched the fashion show. We got in there late. We only saw like the last 2 garments, and I didn't even know about the second exhibit hall until today. And I haven't shopped it yet. I'm gonna go and check it out a little bit more tomorrow. I'm not gonna shop because I'm spending a ton of money on this serger, but I did buy a new seam ripper. Look how gorgeous this thing is. It looks like Murano glass. I don't know if it's actually Murano. but it's beautiful. And it's a 2-ended seam ripper, and it's got, you just pull it out. It's got 2 different size seam rippers in it. There's a small one, it's got a big one. And I mean, if you have to do seam ripping, you might as well do it with something that makes you smile, right? And everybody was commenting because they said it matched my dress. So I got that. And then when Carmen and I left early, and Trish had 3 bins, 3 big boxes of patterns, mostly vintage patterns that she was destashing. So she brought them for all of us to go through, and they were all big 4 patterns, which if you guys follow me, you know I don't really do a lot of big 4 patterns. However, after going through that It Seems to Fit class, I feel like if something is kind of on the cusp, I feel like I might be able to alter it without too much trouble to get it to fit. We'll see. I'm gonna practice, but I did find 3 patterns out of the 3 boxes. One of them's not vintage, but the other 2 are. The first one is Simplicity 8554. And I believe that Stephanie from Stephanie Farrell Focus has made, I think this is the trench coat that she made recently, and she made a couple of them. And it's just super cute. It's like casual, and this is something that I would get use out of here in Florida. I think I can see myself making it out of like a lightweight waterproof fabric and getting some use out of. So there's that one, and that one actually goes up to, this is in sizes 14 to 22. So that may or may not, yeah, the bust size is for the 22 is a 44, which is well below my bust size, but it is a jacket, so it might be fine. So I'm gonna give that one a try. Then I got this pattern, which kind of looks like you know, a Mrs. Roper kind of a dress. This is McCall's M5659. I don't know where those ladies always find the year that a pattern was made. Oh wow, this is only 2008. I would have put it earlier than that. So this is 2008, and the reason that I got this one is because Jen has this nightgown that is this exact shape. It's a maxi length, and it just looks so comfortable. It looks so chic. I can see her lounging out by a pool, drinking a mimosa, and just like having the pool boy wait on her. And so I was thinking I would use this to make a maxi length and have a pajama dress or a nightgown, a nightgown using this pattern, and I think that would be super cute. So this one actually is in sizes 18W to 24W, so I'm kind of hopeful that this one's gonna fit me. And are there any measurements on this? The finished garment measurements for the 24 are 51.5 inches. So it's going to just barely fit. We'll see. We'll see. But I have my alterations book now. So if I need to make a little bit of an adjustment, I can do it. And then the final pattern that I got is totally 80s, which is totally me, because that's the era that I grew up in. And it is New Look 6330. And this is totally my style. Look at the sleeves on that. How cool is that? Now, I would need to figure out how to make this without the shoulder pads, because that I wouldn't do it. I love the 80s, but I'm not going back to shoulder pads. But other than that, I love this top. This is from, I don't know if I can find it. I don't see the year on this anywhere. So it looks like an 80s top. I don't know if that's when this pattern came from, but that's what I'm connecting with. And so I can totally see me making this and wearing this, and I love it. All right, and the last thing that I bought is this finger pin cushion. How cute is that? So it's just on elastic. It fits on your finger. It's got cute little embellishments on it, and you can put pins on it, so it's easy. I think this will come in handy if I ever get to the point where I'm draping, which Carmen is learning how to do tonight. That's the class she's in tonight. I'm not sure how much use I'll get out of this, but I couldn't resist it. So there were a ton. So like I said earlier, this exposition is primarily for quilting, and the walls in the exhibit hall were covered with the most gorgeous quilts you've ever seen. I'm going to flash up some pictures here so you can see. What I want you to know is that there were this group of 4 or 5 quilts, I can't remember, that were literally just big, huge tie-dye tapestries that had the batting and were with the backing and were quilted. So there was no piecing going on. So I'm like, I can do that. So I'm definitely adding that to my to-do list because they were stunning. They were wall hangings. I don't know if I would make, you know, maybe I'll make it as a wall hanging. Maybe I'll make it as a quilt for our bed. I don't know, but I'm definitely making one of those because they were absolutely fantastic. And so I'll leave you with this round of pictures from the expo. I'm really terrible about taking video at public places. If you watch Jen's Friday Sews, I'm pretty sure she has a boatload of video from the expo. So go and check her out. You probably have already seen it because I'm pretty sure she posted before me. But if you want to see like live action stuff, then go check out Jen's video. So wherever you are, I hope the weather's amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.